The night everything changed. The crystal champagne glasses sparkled under the chandelier light like tiny stars. I stood in the kitchen of Lumiere restaurant, my hands trembling with excitement as I arranged the final plate. Tonight was my night. My moment. After 5 years of working from dishwasher to head chef, I was finally cooking for the most important people in the city. My name is Maya Chen, and I was 28 years old. I had dreams bigger than the sky. Tonight, I would cook for 50 wealthy guests, including the mayor, famous actors, and business leaders. And my fiancé, Derek Ashford, would be sitting at table 1, watching me succeed. 5 minutes, Chef Maya, my assistant called. I smoothed down my white chef's coat and checked my reflection in the stainless steel counter. My black hair was pulled back tight. My eyes were bright with hope. I was ready. Derek had proposed to me 6 months ago at this same restaurant. He was handsome, rich, and successful. His family owned half the real estate in the city. Everyone said I was lucky. A poor girl from Chinatown marrying into one of the wealthiest families. But I loved him for more than his money. Or so I thought. The guests are seated, my manager said, poking his head into the kitchen. It's showtime. The perfect meal, the perfect lie. I sent out course after course. Seared scallops with lemon foam. Duck breast with cherry reduction. Handmade pasta with truffle oil. Each plate was a piece of art, a piece of my soul. Through the small window in the kitchen door, I could see the dining room. The guests were smiling, laughing, enjoying my food. I searched for Derek at table 1. He wasn't there. Strange, I thought. He promised he'd be here. Maybe he was running late from work. Derek was always busy with his business deals. I pushed the worry aside and focused on the final course, my signature chocolate soufflé with raspberry sauce. At 10 p.m., after the last guest left with compliments and full stomachs, I finally took off my chef's coat. My manager congratulated me. My team cheered. We had done it. The event was perfect. I checked my phone. 3 missed calls from my best friend, Sophia. No messages from Derek. I called Sophia back. Hey, I'm so sorry I missed your calls. Tonight was crazy. Maya. Her voice was strange. Tight. Where are you? Still at the restaurant. Why? What's wrong? Silence. Then, you need to come to Derek's apartment. Right now. My heart started beating fast. Is he okay? Did something happen? Just come. Please. The betrayal. I took a taxi to Derek's luxury apartment building. The doorman knew me and let me go up. My hands were shaking as I pressed the button for the penthouse floor. Something was very wrong. I could feel it in my bones. The elevator doors opened. I walked down the hallway to Derek's door. It was slightly open. Inside, I heard voices. Laughing. I pushed the door open wider. And my whole world shattered into a million pieces. Derek was on the couch. Sophia was sitting on his lap. They were kissing. Not just kissing. Their hands were all over each other. Wine glasses sat on the coffee table. Sophia's dress was half off her shoulder. I made a sound. A small, broken sound. They jumped apart. Derek's face went white. Sophia's eyes went wide. Maya, Derek started. How long? My voice didn't sound like mine. It sounded dead. It's not what you think, Sophia began. How long? I screamed. Derek stood up, trying to fix his shirt. Maya, calm down. Let me explain. 4 months, Sophia said quietly. She wasn't even crying. She just looked at me with cold eyes. It's been 4 months. 4 months. While I was planning our wedding. While I was working 16-hour days to make enough money to pay for a nice dress. While I was telling everyone how much I loved him. Why? The word came out as a whisper. Derek had the nerve to look annoyed. You're never around, Maya. You're always at that restaurant. Sophia understands what I need. She has time for me. I was working for us. For our future. No, Derek said coldly. You were working for yourself. For your little cooking dream. I need a woman who can stand beside me at business dinners. Someone from the right background. Someone like Sophia. Sophia stood up, smoothing her dress. I'm sorry, Maya. But Derek and we're in love. We didn't mean for it to happen. I looked at the woman I'd called my best friend for 10 years. The woman who'd held me when my mother died. The woman I'd trusted with all my secrets. Get out, Derek said. Leave your key on the table. The fall begins. I don't remember leaving the apartment. I don't remember walking to the subway. I just remember sitting on the train at midnight, staring at the engagement ring on my finger. I took it off and threw it on the tracks. The next morning, I woke up in my tiny studio apartment with swollen eyes and an empty heart. I called the restaurant to tell them I'd be a little late. My manager answered. His voice was uncomfortable. Maya, we need to talk. I'll be there in an hour. Don't come in. You're fired. The words hit me like a punch. What? Why? The dinner last night was perfect. Derek Ashford called this morning. He's one of our biggest investors. He said you've been unstable. That you've been stealing from the restaurant. That you can't be trusted. That's a lie. He's lying because... I'm sorry, Maya. The decision is final. We'll mail your last check. He hung up. I sat there, holding my phone, trying to understand. In one night, I'd lost my fiancé, my best friend, and my job. But Derek wasn't done destroying me yet. Rock bottom. Over the next 2 weeks, I applied to 30 restaurants. Nobody would hire me. Derek had spread lies about me to everyone in the industry. He told people I had a drug problem. That I stole recipes. That I couldn't handle pressure. My reputation was destroyed. I couldn't pay rent. I sold my furniture, my nice clothes, my chef's knives. The knives hurt the most. They were a gift from my mother before she died. I moved to a room in a bad part of town. It was small, dirty, and smelled like mold. But it was all I could afford. I worked 3 jobs. I cleaned offices at night. I washed dishes at a cheap diner. I delivered food on a bicycle in the rain. Every day, I saw photos of Derek and Sophia on social media. They weren't hiding their relationship. They went to parties, fancy restaurants, and vacations. They looked happy. I looked like a ghost. I lost weight. My hair started falling out from stress. I couldn't sleep. When I did sleep, I dreamed of that night. Of their faces. Of my broken dreams. 2 months after the betrayal, I was working the late shift at Joe's Diner. It was 2 a.m. The diner was empty except for one customer. A man in an expensive black suit. The mysterious stranger. He sat in the corner booth, reading a newspaper and drinking coffee. I'd never seen anyone wearing a $1,000 suit in Joe's Diner before. This place served cheap burgers and watery coffee to truck drivers and night shift workers. Can I get you anything else? I asked, trying to sound professional even though my voice was tired. He looked up. And I forgot how to breathe. He was the most handsome man I'd ever seen. Dark hair, sharp jawline, and eyes like gray storm clouds. He looked about 35. There was something dangerous about him. Something powerful. You're a chef, he said. It wasn't a question. I touched my arm self-consciously. I had a small burn scar there, shaped like a rose. All chefs had scars. I was. Not anymore. Maya Chen. He knew my name. You cooked at Lumiere restaurant. Your signature dish was chocolate soufflé with raspberry sauce. My heart started racing. How do you know that? I know many things. He smiled slightly. It wasn't a friendly smile. It was the smile of a wolf. I know Derek Ashford destroyed your career. I know Sofia Martinez betrayed you. I know you're working 3 jobs and can barely afford to eat. Fear crawled up my spine. Who are you? My name is Damian Cross. He handed me a business card. It was black with silver letters. Just a name and a phone number. I have a job offer for you. I'm not interested in whatever. $1 million. I stopped breathing. I need a private chef, Damian continued calmly. You'll live in my house. Cook 2 meals a day. That's all. $1 million for 1 year of work. That's not possible. Nobody pays that much for a chef. I do. His gray eyes pinned me in place. But there are conditions. You'll sign a contract. You won't leave the property without permission. You won't tell anyone where you are. And you'll do exactly what I say. Every alarm bell in my head was ringing. This was dangerous. Wrong. Possibly illegal. But $1 million. I could start over. Open my own restaurant. Get revenge on Derek. Have a life again. Why me? I whispered. Damian leaned back in his booth. Because you have something I need, Maya. Hunger. Not for food. For justice. For revenge. I can see it in your eyes. He was right. I was hungry. Starving. For revenge. For Derek to suffer the decision. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my tiny room, holding Damian Cross's card, thinking about everything I'd lost. Derek had taken everything from me. My career, my reputation, my future. He'd done it so easily, with just a few phone calls and lies. And he was living his best life while I was drowning. It wasn't fair. At sunrise, I made my decision. I called the number on the card. Damian answered on the first ring, like he'd been waiting. I'll do it, I said. Good. I could hear the satisfaction in his voice. A car will pick you up at noon. Bring nothing. Everything you need will be provided. Wait, what's the real reason you're hiring me? What do you really want? Silence. Then, revenge, Maya. Same as you. We're going to destroy Derek Ashford together. And you're going to help me do it. He hung up. I sat there, my hand shaking, realizing what I'd just agreed to. I'd made a deal with the devil. But maybe the devil was exactly what I needed. Part 2, The Seduction of Power, 2,000 words. Welcome to paradise. The black car that picked me up at noon was unlike anything I'd ever been in. Leather seats, tinted windows, and a driver who didn't speak. We drove for an hour out of the city, into the hills where only the super-rich lived. Finally, we stopped in front of massive iron gates. They opened automatically, and we drove up a long driveway lined with perfect trees. The house, no, the mansion, took my breath away. It was 3 stories of white stone and glass, with fountains, gardens, and a view of the entire city below. This wasn't just wealth. This was power. The driver opened my door. Mr. Cross is waiting in the kitchen. I walked through the front entrance, my cheap shoes squeaking on marble floors. Everything was expensive and perfect. Artwork on the walls, fresh flowers in crystal vases, and silence. Such deep silence. The kitchen was bigger than my entire old apartment. Professional-grade appliances, marble countertops, a wine cellar visible. through a glass wall. And in the center, leaning against the island counter, was Damien Cross. He'd changed from his suit into dark jeans and a black shirt. He looked more dangerous this way. More real. "Welcome home, Maya," he said with that wolf smile. "This isn't my home," I replied. "This is a job. For now." He pushed off the counter and walked toward me. "Let me show you your room." The Golden Cage. My room was on the 3rd floor. It had a king-size bed, a private bathroom with a soaking tub, a walk-in closet filled with new clothes in my exact size, and floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the gardens. "How did you know my size?" I asked, touching a soft cashmere sweater. "I told you. I know everything about you." Damien stood in the doorway, watching me. "Your mother died when you were 22. Cancer. You paid her medical bills by working 3 jobs and going to culinary school at night. You met Derek Ashford at a charity event 2 years ago. He pursued you. You thought he loved you." My throat felt tight. "Stop. Sofia Martinez was your friend since high school. She was always jealous of you. Always wanted what you had. When Derek showed interest in her, she took her chance." I said stop. Tears burned my eyes. Damien's expression softened slightly. "I'm not trying to hurt you, Maya. I'm trying to show you that I understand. Betrayal. Loss. The need for revenge." "Why do you want revenge on Derek?" I asked. "That's my story to tell. When I'm ready." He checked his watch. "Dinner is at 7 p.m. Cook whatever you want. Impress me." He left me alone in my golden cage. The first meal. I spent the afternoon exploring the kitchen. It had everything a chef could dream of. Fresh ingredients, expensive spices, imported oils. It was overwhelming. What should I cook for a man like Damien Cross? I decided on something simple but perfect. Pan-seared sea bass with lemon butter sauce, roasted vegetables, and handmade pasta. Comfort food made elegant. At exactly 7 p.m. At exactly 7 p.m., Damien appeared in the dining room. He'd showered and changed into a dark suit. His hair was still slightly damp. I served the meal, my hand steady despite my nervousness. He took one bite. Closed his eyes. And made a sound that sent shivers down my spine. "Perfetto," he murmured. "You put your soul on this plate." That's what my mother used to say. Cooking without soul is just fuel. Cooking with soul is love. Damien opened his eyes and looked at me. Really looked at me. "Sit. Eat with me. I'm the chef." I should. Sit. It was a command. I sat across from him at the huge dining table. "Tell me about Derek," he said, taking another bite. "How did he propose?" The memory hurt. But I told him. At Lumiere restaurant. He took me to the rooftop after service. There were candles, roses, and champagne. He got on one knee and said I was the most talented, beautiful woman he'd ever met. He said he wanted to spend his life with me. And you believed him. Wouldn't you? Damien's gray eyes were cold. No. I never believe pretty words. I believe actions. And Derek's actions showed you who he really was. So why did you believe Sofia? I shot back. He smiled. Good. You're angry. That's useful. I'm not your weapon. Yes, you are. You just don't know it yet. He finished his meal and pushed back his plate. Derek Ashford destroyed your life. But he's done worse things. Much worse. Like what? 3 years ago, Derek's company was bidding for a major real estate contract. My company was bidding too. Derek cheated. He paid off judges, destroyed evidence, and framed my business partner for corruption. My partner went to prison for 5 years. He killed himself after 2. The words hung in the air like poison. I'm sorry, I whispered. Don't be sorry. Help me destroy him. Damien leaned forward. I have a plan. But I need you to play a part. What kind of part? In 1 month, there's a charity gala. All of high society will be there. Including Derek and Sophia. You're going to attend as my date. My heart started racing. I can't face them. Not yet. Yes, you can. Because you won't be the broken girl they destroyed. You'll be powerful. Beautiful. Untouchable. You'll be mine. The way he said mine made my skin feel hot. Transformation. The next 4 weeks were insane. Damien hired a personal trainer who worked me out every morning. A nutritionist who made sure I ate healthy meals. A stylist who took me shopping for designer clothes. A speech coach who taught me how to talk like I belonged in high society. I gained weight in the right places. My hair grew shiny and long. My skin cleared up. I started sleeping through the night for the first time in months. But the hardest training was with Damien himself. Every evening, after I cooked dinner, we'd sit together and he'd teach me about business, power, and revenge. Derek thinks with his ego, Damien explained one night. He needs to be the smartest person in the room. That's his weakness. And what's your weakness? I asked. He looked at me for a long moment. You're starting to become one. My breath caught. Don't say things like that. Why not? It's true. He reached across the table and touched my hand. You're different now, Maya. Stronger. The woman who walked into my house was defeated. The woman sitting across from me is dangerous. I pulled my hand away. This is just business. Is it? The tension between us was getting harder to ignore. Sometimes I'd catch him watching me cook with an expression I couldn't read. Sometimes his hand would brush mine when he handed me something, and electricity would shoot through my body. I told myself it was just attraction. Nothing more. But I was lying. The gala. The night of the charity gala, I barely recognized myself in the mirror. The stylist had dressed me in a red silk gown that hugged my body perfectly. My hair was swept up in an elegant style. Diamond earrings sparkled up my ears, borrowed, but nobody would know. I looked like I belonged in this world. Damien knocked on my door at 7 p.m. When I opened it, his eyes went wide. Madonna, he breathed. You're stunning. He looked incredible too. A black tuxedo tailored perfectly to his body. His dark hair swept back. He looked like a movie star. Ready for war? He asked, offering his arm. I took it. Ready. The gala was at the city's most exclusive hotel. As we walked in, people stared. Whispered. I held my head high, my arm linked through Damien's, trying not to shake. And then I saw them. Derek and Sophia. Derek was wearing his expensive tuxedo, looking handsome and confident. Sophia was in a white dress, diamonds around her neck, smiling like she owned the world. They saw me at the same moment I saw them. Derek's face went pale. Sophia's mouth dropped open. Maya? Derek said, stepping forward. What are you doing here? I smiled. A cold, beautiful smile. Hello, Derek. Sophia. You look different, Sophia managed to say. I am different. I looked at Damien. This is Damien Cross. My employer. Derek's eyes narrowed. He knew who Damien was. Everyone in business knew Damien Cross. He was powerful, ruthless, and dangerous. Cross, Derek said stiffly. I didn't know you hired criminals. Criminals? I repeated softly. That's funny, coming from you. Maya. Save it. I turned away from them. Damien, I'm ready for champagne. As we walked away, I felt Derek's eyes burning into my back. Well done, Damien murmured. You didn't break. I wanted to. I know. But you didn't. That makes you stronger than him. We spent the evening circulating through the party. Damien introduced me to mayors, CEOs, and celebrities. Everyone treated me with respect because I was with him. It felt good. Too good. Around midnight, I went to the bathroom to touch up my lipstick. When I came out, Sophia was waiting. You think you're so special now? She hissed. Playing dress up with Damien Cross? We all know what you really are. A poor chef who got lucky. Something inside me snapped. You're right, I said calmly. I did get lucky. Lucky that Derek showed me who he really was before I married him. Lucky that you showed me what a fake friend looks like. Lucky that I got away from both of you. Sophia's face turned red. Derek loves me. Derek loves himself. And when he's done using you, he'll throw you away too. Just like he did to me. I walked away, my heart pounding, feeling powerful for the first time since the betrayal. Crossing the line. Back at the mansion that night, Damien poured us both whiskey. You did well tonight, he said. Derek looked like he wanted to kill me for touching you. Good, I said, drinking the whiskey fast. It burned going down. Maya. Why are you really doing this? I interrupted. Helping me? Spending all this money? What do you get out of it? Damien set down his glass. Satisfaction. Justice. Revenge. That's not all. I moved closer to him. The alcohol made me brave. You want something else? Careful, he warned. Tell me the truth. He grabbed my wrist, pulling me close. You want the truth? Fine. I want Derek to suffer. I want him to lose everything he loves. And he loved you, Maya. Maybe not the way you deserved, but he loved you. Seeing you with me drives him insane. So I'm just a tool? A weapon? Yes. His eyes were dark. Honest. But you're also more than that. What am I? He pulled me closer until our faces were inches apart. You're mine. And then he kissed me. It wasn't gentle. It was hungry, desperate, and angry. I kissed him back just as hard, pouring all my rage and pain into it. We broke apart, both breathing hard. This is a mistake, I whispered. I know. We can't. I know. But we kissed again anyway. Part 3, The Recipe for Justice, 2,000 words. The morning after. I woke up in Damien's bed, tangled in silk sheets, my body sore in the best way. He was already awake, sitting by the window with a cup of coffee, watching the sunrise. He looked peaceful. Young. Human. Regrets? He asked without looking at me. Many, I admitted. But not about last night. He smiled. Good. I sat up, pulling the sheet around my body. What happens now? Now? He finally looked at me. Now we finish what we started. We destroy Derek. Together. And after? After. He paused. I don't know. I've never thought beyond revenge before. That scared me more than anything. Because I was starting to think beyond revenge. I was starting to imagine a future. With him. The plan revealed. Over breakfast, Damien explained his full plan. Derek is bidding for the biggest real estate contract in the city. The West Side Development Project. It's worth $500 million. If he gets it, his company will be unstoppable. And you want to steal it from him, I guessed. Not steal. Win. Fairly. But Derek doesn't play fair. He'll try to cheat again. And when he does, we'll catch him. How do I fit into this? Damien slid a folder across the table. Tomorrow night, Derek is hosting a private dinner for the judges who will decide the contract. 20 people. He hired a famous chef. But that chef is going to get sick. Very sick. And he'll call you to replace him. My eyes widened. You're going to poison his chef? Just a little food poisoning. He'll be fine in 2 days. Damien's smile was wicked. You'll go to Derek's house. You'll cook an incredible meal. And you'll plant hidden cameras and microphones while you're there. That's illegal. So is bribery. And fraud. And everything Derek's been doing for years. Damien leaned forward. This is your chance, Maya. Your chance to see him suffer. Are you in? I thought about everything Derek had taken from me. My career. My reputation. My dreams. I'm in. The dinner. The next evening, Derek's chef called me from the hospital. Maya? It's Chef Bernard. I'm so sorry, but I ate bad oysters and I can't cook tonight. Derek is furious. He needs someone immediately. Can you help? I pretended to hesitate. I don't know, after everything. Please. Derek is willing to pay $20,000 for one night. Fine. But only because I need the money. 2 hours later, I arrived at Derek's penthouse. The same penthouse where I'd found him with Sophia. Derek answered the door. He looked uncomfortable. Thank you for coming, he said stiffly. The kitchen is ready. Where's Sophia? I asked coldly. She's away. Business trip. Liar. She probably couldn't stand being here with me. I went to the kitchen and started cooking. The judges would arrive in 2 hours. I had to make appetizers, main courses, and desserts for 20 people. While I cooked, I planted tiny cameras in the dining room, the office, and the living room. Microphones too. All hidden where nobody would find them. My hands shook, but I did it. The meal I prepared was perfect. Lobster bisque, Wagyu beef with truffle sauce, and my signature chocolate soufflé. When the judges arrived, Derek played the perfect host. Charming, funny, generous. But I heard everything through the hidden microphones. After dinner, Derek took 3 judges into his private office. Gentlemen, his voice came through my earpiece crystal clear. I'm prepared to offer each of you $2 million if you vote for my company tomorrow. Bribery. Clear and recorded. One judge laughed. Derek, that's illegal. Only if someone finds out. And nobody will. I've done this before. It's how business works. I had him. I quickly finished in the kitchen and left through the service entrance. Derek didn't even say goodbye. Outside, Damien's car was waiting.